My favorite thing about Acton is the fact that we're actually like learning real world things versus just sitting in a classroom for 8 hours and learning things that is standardized in the school system. So for example, like geometry class, when you're sitting in that class, I was there for 2 hours learning to memorize things, and then I come to Acton, I'm actually learning things that are rooted toward the career path that I want to go down. And so I'm actually learning about how like to do things that are gonna matter in the real world versus just like studying for things. I had a pretty negative mindset about a lot, and then I feel like coming to Acton and not only learning about school related things and actually learning about like, oh, this is like good for you to know like in general, has just made me into a more positive person and just have a more positive outlook on everything that I do in my life.
She came home after her first couple weeks. She kind of thought everybody was a little different and not exactly what she was used to in a school setting. And she just had this light bulb moment where she announced that everything I've done up until now was being compared. I was compared for my grades, I was compared for my looks, I was compared for our social status or whatever, what she drives. And she just had this realization that it's not that anybody here is different, it's that everybody's allowed to be who they are and express their personality, and she understands backstories and how that lends to who you are as a person in the future. And it just gave her this understanding of people. And she also talked about working together for common goals, and instead of competing and that comparison thing. That was a really beautiful
First started
thing.
Going to Acton, it was just hard for me because there's such a vast age difference in like the studios, and so when I was like getting to know everyone, it was just kind of hard for me to like comprehend that everyone is so different, and I had never got to like know people who were different than me. When I was going through public school, it was like everyone was the same, everyone had like the same mindset and just wanted, like, you just wanted to be popular. You didn't like really care about how everyone else was. You just wanted to be the best there could be. And so I started going to Acton, and I thought everyone was just so different and I wasn't used to it. And so I remember I went home and I was like, Mom, like, these people are not the same as me. Like, I don't think I can get along with them. And so that's like how my mindset was. Like, I was just had a really negative mindset going into it. But then I actually started learning stuff here, and I started to like get to know the people. And so a couple weeks in, it just kind of hit me that like everyone isn't the same, and like real world stuff, like not everyone you're gonna surround yourself with in your job isn't gonna be the same. You're not gonna walk out the doors and everyone's gonna be the same as you. And so I got to like to know everyone and actually know like what they've, like, everyone's been through different things here, and just it's not the same as how public school was. And so when I got to know everyone, it was just like eye-opening to see like mixed personalities like come together and do something cool, and just hearing everyone's stories and what they've been through, and like you bring us all together, and it was just perfect. Like, and now I wouldn't have traded it for the world. Honestly, the thing that has put me into like my panic zone the most at Acton is like the fact that we like govern our own studios. So when something is going south, like us heroes have to like navigate how to solve it and like find a solution for it, versus when in school, like the teacher would just tell you not to do that. You have to rely on everyone else in your studio to come together and find a solution. And it was really hard for me at first to be like, to step up and like try to be a leader and try to like go through my head and find a solution, when all my life I've had someone telling me what to do. And so it was really hard at first, but now it's so beneficial to actually like learn how to be a leader, and how to like how I lead my tribe now is something that I would have never done before. I've definitely just like learned how to be a leader. I've learned how to use my voice versus like not having one before. And so the fact that we all learn how to just be a leader in society versus just sitting back and letting things happen. I think it's good to teach young people that it is okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to make hard decisions versus in public school when those decisions were just made for you. And not just like when it's like work time and you're supposed to be quiet, but also like decisions like, oh, are we gonna go outside to eat today? Are we gonna stay inside? Or are we gonna have a negative mindset about this, or are we gonna make it into something positive? Like there's just so many different aspects that like have turned me into a leader and like have a more positive mindset about things.
I hope she never feels stuck. I hope she does the thing that's sparking her interest right now, and when those interests change, she has the fortitude and the courage to step forward in a different path.
I've definitely gotten a lot closer. Like me and Alex used to just hang out in our rooms and not want to come upstairs, but like switching to Acton and like actually wanting to come home and like Alex will talk about his day now. Like I'll want to go home and tell my mom about all the fun things that we did. We'll tell our mom like all the funny stories that happened at school. So that's been pretty cool. We spend more time together now. Like sometimes we'll do like our family meetings where we go through our like agendas and like how we'll set goals for our family for the week. And then we'll sit down and we'll talk about those goals and how well we did. We'll like red light, yellow light, or green light it. And then just like, oh my god, I'm gonna start crying again. But now I actually feel like I'm like friends with my brother, because since we're 4 years apart, we haven't been going to like the same school. And so just being able to like hang out with him every day, I think that's made us really close. He'll tell me stuff about his life that he would never tell me about before. He wants to go do things with me. Like we just hang out, and it's cool because we're like friends now versus just brother and sister. Like we want to talk. Like that's just how it was until I came to Acton, and it was like everything just flipped, and all of a sudden we were like friends.
Taylor can do anything she sets her mind to. She's so smart and so talented in so many ways. I hope nothing holds her back. I hope she never allows anything to hold her back from doing what it is she knows she can do.
One thing that I would say for other heroes is just to be kind to each other. Like even though there's disagreements and like sometimes people just can't collaborate the best together, just keep being kind to each other because it goes by super fast. Like probably what I'm gonna like the memory that I'm gonna take with me is just like all the people I've met and like all the different things I've like done here. That was just so different from like school before. Like it was just such a cool experience, and I'm so glad that like I did take that scary step to move schools and to come here. So that's what I'm gonna take with me.